Hi, this is Doug Sperling. It's Monday, 31 March 2025, about 10 in the morning Pacific time. Um, I'm going to talk quickly about two topics: how to open lots of things, multiple files in Google Earth, and then also touch a little bit on some railroad network interoperability and a couple of other sources for network maps. We're going to look at, right now, we're looking at Google Earth, no files open, um, but the software is launched. So I'm going to go to the place where I keep the Mexlist um, material, and we'll, these are all the files right there. It's 36 files right now. Um, so there's a couple of ways to do this. I could just go in here into my folder structure, and we'll double click on one of these files, and there is FIT. So that opens that, and then if I go open another one, let's say Ferrosur, double click on that, and now we've got the two of them open. And what I mean by the taking a lot of care to make sure things work together, um, you can see here, I'm not done drawing. There's two tracks here. Um, and this is probably designated as a main track to right there. Um, but making this stuff all drawing it so that these work together, so that the endpoints, for example, I'm going to right click, and now we're editing, making sure that this stuff meshes so that this thing ends where the other one begins, etc., so that the colors are, everything works together. That's a lot of labor, believe it or not. Okay, so that's one way to open a file. Another way is to go File, Open, and that answers the question. Well, how do you open multiple files? Another way to open files, including multiple files, is to go, choose File, Open, and then navigate to the place. And now we'll maybe launch KCSM. Um, and once again, you could see the how the files work together. Like here we needed to make sure this stuff sort of meets up logically and everything. That's what I mean by it all interoperates. Um, anyway, um, and a third way to open files is you could just do this. You could just select one and then go down, scroll down, shift, select, and now let's see if we can do this. Well, hold on, let me back up um, before I do that. So you can just keep adding files in this thing until um, basically until, so all this stuff is held in RAM. When you start to run out of RAM, you're going to start to notice that you can't pan like this, or tilt, or zoom like this. That functionality will start to drop away, and it'll start to not work. And actually, if you try to open too much stuff, you can crash the program. And actually, a couple times I've crashed not just the program, but my operating system. I'm on a Mac here, but this works pretty much the same on PC or Mac. So the third choice, we've got 36 files selected, and I'm just going to right click and go open. Are you sure you want to open? Yeah, sure, why not? Like, we'll find out if it does it. Um, So I opened, the whole set right now in one thing. Now we have one action. We have an issue now, um, which is that some of these things, and this explains the reason why I've got the TXT, the employee timetable files, made as separate little zip. This thing right here is a KMZ. That's keyhole markup language zip, Z is zip. There's also KML, keyhole markup language, file format. So the zip, this is actually just a zip file, and you can zip this in another zip file, and actually you can zip that in yet another zip file. The reason I've got these timetable in a separate file is because of this visual issue that you see. The text and the objects have different zoom qualities as you zoom in, so it can be, it's hard to see the network. So now you have to go, now because we opened everything at once, we've got the problem of having to leaf through and turn stuff off so we can see things. Anyway, that answers that question. And I think I'll shut this down, and additional information I will give you in a further video, another video to keep these more bite-sized. That's it. Let me shut this down.